Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cage's Coaster Reviews. And a couple weeks ago, I visited Dollywood and Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And I got to ride all 8 roller coasters, even though the first day only a couple of them open. It was like 30 degrees. The second day, they all did open. And although they probably were running a lot slower than usual, I was really blown away by the lineup and just the overall. This was just a great park. Probably not as good as Cedar Point, but definitely a close second. The lineup was great. Very underrated lineup. I wasn't expecting to be that good. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so because I have planned out my 50 subscriber special. I know we're a long way, like 17, which is actually a lot for me. But it's going to be pretty good, so please subscribe. And let's get on with the list. Number 8, we have Whistlepunk Chaser. This is just a kiddie coaster. Nothing really to say about it. It's themed to whistles. It's got this huge one in the middle. That's about it. Nothing really too special. All right, number 7, we have Blazing Fury. This is an indoor coaster. I do consider it a coaster. I can understand if some people not because it is electric powered until the end. It does have 3 roller coaster drops, which is why I consider it a credit. The theming's great, but other than that, not much to talk about. Alright, number 6, we have Firechaser Express, one of 2 Gerstlauter coasters at the park. This is probably one of the best family coasters out there. Definitely the smoothest ride at the park. It is forceless, but then again, it is a family coaster. The theming, though, is incredible. It's very cool to look at off-ride. And this is just, overall, just a fun coaster for the family. Number 5, we have Mystery Mine, the other Gerstlauter coaster. This is my first Gerstlauter Eurofighter. And before I really get into this top 5, I'd like to say that number 5 through 2, those 4 coasters are, in my opinion, extremely close. They're all very different rides experience, and it's just really hard to tell which one's better for me. They're really interchangeable. I had Mystery Mine a couple minutes before this video. I had it at like number 3 or 4, I think. But the first half of this is pretty weak. The theming is great throughout the whole ride, but the first outdoor section really doesn't do much. But then you go back indoors and you go up that vertical lift to look up at the screen as the mine shaft is falling apart, and then everything stops and goes black, and then the fire, and the 110 foot, I think, something like that, vertical drop. And then those 2 inversions, especially that half loop that like hangs you upside down for a while. This is just a incredible ride, super underrated, and this is definitely the coaster that blew me away the most. I wasn't expecting much out of this. All right, number 4, we have Wild Eagle, my third B&M Lane coaster. This probably isn't as good as the other ones, but it's definitely close. I wouldn't consider this forceless at all. At the bottom of the first drop, I do feel at least 1.5 to 2 Gs. The layout's pretty standard. I do like it's just like a graceful ride, just a fun ride. The inversions are great. The 2 helixes at the end are a little disappointing. I think you could have did a little more with the layout, but still overall, a lot of fun. Alright, number 3, we have Thunderhead, the GCI Woody at the park. This is my third GCI Woody, the other 2 being Mystic Timbers and American Thunder. I'd say this is in the middle. I was a little disappointed, to be honest. I went in the back row expecting more airtime. I didn't get much. Probably because it's cold out. The lubrication's not as good. The wheels aren't as hot. They're probably nylon wheels. I think, yeah, you use nylon wheels in the winter. But the duration, really, I wasn't expecting to be that long. It was a really long ride. Very fast ride. Good pacing. The station flyby is great, and that's basically why it deserves number 3 spot. Very solid coaster. Number 2, we have Tennessee Tornado. By far the best aero custom looper. I don't think you can really argue. This was one of the last aerodynamics roller coasters before the X2 tragedy that put them out of business, that got them bankrupt. But this shows that Aero finally was starting to figure it out in terms of layout. The supports are very different too. You got the tubular steel, so like the B&M, and I think this was first used on Drachenfire at which is now defunct. Used to be at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which looked like a great ride. Just really rough, but back row is definitely the way to go. That first drop, I was standing up on the first drop. First drop's great. And then you go into that massive 110-foot vertical loop, the tallest on any aero coaster. And there's overbanks, which makes this layout really unique. Very intense too. It's super forceful, and it's out in the woods too. So this is just a really fun ride. This one blew me away too. I had pretty high expectations too. The one main complaint is that it's really short, but you can't really notice it. It's just a great ride. And number one, I don't even have to stop. Whoops. Sorry. Number one, we have Lightning Rod. Obviously, just fabulous. I just can't really explain it. I do have a story to tell. So second day, this was open right away. I got a nice 5-minute wait. Back row. I was ready. I was so excited. I had the lap bar about 4 inches above my lap. And how you're supposed to check a restraint is that you pull up on it, not down, but up. And then the ride op comes over and says, "Oh, you got to put it down." So I put it down, so I still get some airtime. Not as good. And then I'm saying, but the line, in the queue line, you got a bunch of videos boasting about how much airtime it has, like 20 seconds of airtime, so I want to see. So she's like, "Nope, it's going to hurt out there. It's going to hurt in the ride if you do that." So then she makes me staple it, so it's literally crushing me. I'm in pain before I'm even in the ride. And then I go through the ride. I still had so much fun, though. Didn't get much airtime. But then, damn it, sorry. But then, I got another row, sunset front row. I didn't get stapled this time. I got a ride operator that actually knew what he was doing. And just probably the best ride of my life on any roller coaster. It's just so intense. The launch is great. The launch just shows that the speed will never let up the whole ride. And it's just such an intense ride. Extreme ride. The drop is great. The wave turn is just incredible. I like that way better than a normal airtime hill. You get like side airtime. And then you got that like twist and shout element, which is really cool. And then the famous quad down wall. That's probably the best element on any roller coaster. And just the speed does not let up. 73 miles per hour, the fastest wood coaster in the entire world. I've actually been on the second fastest too, which is Goliath at my home park, Six Flags Great America. But this is just a legendary coaster, just a masterpiece by RMC and Alan Schilke. Way to go. Your two coasters are, for Alan Schilke's two coasters in the top two for me. Just a legend of a ride. Alright, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and like I said before, please subscribe if you haven't. Give me some suggestions for future videos, and we'll see you next time on Cage's Coaster Reviews.